Emotionally Online merch is on, and I'm ready to get into it. Which, by the way, merch is now 20% off through the rest of this weekend for Black Friday. So if you or someone you love is emotionally available and or listens to the world's greatest podcast, Emotionally Online, hosted by yours truly, could be a great gift idea. What's up, you guys? My name is Maddie. Welcome back to my channel, where today I'm going to be in other people's business. To be fair, I was invited in. They opened the door and they said, please come in and look at all my business. And who am I to decline, okay? I am just an obedient guest. That is all. A few weeks ago, I had my first experience on a subreddit called dating_advice, and I had a good time, and so did all of you. So we're back. We're setting up shop. We're building a home. For context, for those of you that have never been on this subreddit before, basically it's a subreddit dedicated to early stage dating, so under 6 months of knowing the person. So a lot of the posts on this subreddit are asking about first dates, second dates, dating taboos, dating expectations, anything and everything when it comes to the early stages of getting to know someone. And oftentimes, the early stages of getting to know someone involves sex, which is a great introduction to today's sponsor, which is our friends over at Beducated. If you've got sex questions, Beducated has sex answers. Beducated is my absolute favorite place on the internet to get reliable sex education. Beducated has the answers to the questions that you actually want to know. The stuff that you are deep in Google, scrolling through Reddit, trying to find the answers to, Beducated has the answers with a more reliable source. So whether you're trying to learn something about birth control and STIs, or you're trying to learn some tips and tricks for how to give better oral and not only learn them, but observe them and really see everything you need to see, you can find both over on Beducated. So we've got a range of content going on over there, and I think you're gonna like all of it. They've got courses on blowjobs, threesomes, dirty talk, any sex topic that you might be interested in. They probably have it over on Beducated, and they are just dying to help you improve your sex life. And right now, Beducated is offering access to the platform for their biggest discount yet at 60% off. So when you use my code Maddie, you get access to their platform with over 100 different expert-led courses with the intention of helping you master new techniques, reignite the spark, and gain more confidence in the bedroom. Again, that is 60% off the yearly pass at Beducated when you click the link in the description down below and use code Maddie at checkout. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into this subreddit. First post here says, I accidentally said love you. This morning, my boyfriend of 3 weeks dropped me off. We talked a little bit. I got out of his car and said, love you, bye. He was already starting to drive away, so there is a slight chance he didn't hear it. After I said this, I immediately froze and said to myself, what the fuck was that? Because I legitimately was confused by what I had said. It kind of felt like it wasn't me saying it, like I didn't think about it. It just came out. We've only been dating for 3 weeks, seeing each other almost every day, but this is too fast for me to say something like this. I do really like him, but I'm worried I just ruined our relationship. I don't want him to think I'm intense, toxic, or have attachment issues. I might be overthinking the whole situation, but don't want our relationship to break because it's the first time in a while that I found someone who is worth it. I have so much to say, but I'll start by telling you, the person writing this, who is probably not watching this video, something that I have repeated to myself throughout the process of dating a lot, and it's a sentence that really rings true to me. And if you're a regular watcher of this channel, you already know what I'm gonna say. But that phrase is, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If you really are in this fantastic, supportive new relationship with someone who really likes you and really cares about you and that is worth it, to use your own words, this is just like a sweet, endearing moment, nothing more. Personally, I think it's kind of silly the amount of like stress and anxiety and weight we put on saying love in a relationship, especially when you're like signing off a phone call or hopping out of the car and you're just like, love you, bye. It's not like you sat down, looked him deep into his eyes and are like, I am in love with you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Like, these are different things, right? It's not like you just met him and you're like, this is forever. I love you. And you're going to a place that is unrealistic for the amount of time you spent together. You were hopping out of the car and just said, love you, bye, because that is what you say to people that you care about. The same way you would probably say that to your friends or your siblings or your parents. I don't really understand why we feel like we can't say that to people that we're dating, because yeah, I do love you. Of course I do. And I understand there's more weight to saying I'm in love with you, but that's not what happened here. You said love you, bye, and you kept it rocking. But to be totally honest with you, I don't really give a fuck when somebody says I love you in general, when someone says I'm in love with you in general. I think whenever you feel it is an appropriate time to say it. I think that it is kind of silly to be like in your head running around in circles trying to figure out when the right time to say it is. I feel like when you feel it, it is the right time to say it. Even if you did say I'm in love with you, I wouldn't be like, it's game over. Because I really think that if you're with the person that's right for you, it's always going to be sweet. You know, even if they're not ready to say it back, I'm not sure that it ever is too much for the right person. Unless it's like wild and you met this person 4 days ago and you're saying I love you, but I digress. Each relationship is different. So to summarize here, I really don't think that it's a big deal. I think that if you get to the stage where you are in a committed relationship with someone and they got freaked out because you said love you bye when you hopped out of the car, I don't think they're ready to be in a relationship, because that would be kind of an extreme reaction to something that's just like lighthearted and sweet. I wouldn't worry about it. Doesn't seem like a big deal at all. Was this a sexist dig at me? I, 43 female, have been chatting with a guy, 35 male, on Hinge, but we have not met because honestly, I'm kind of on the fence. Yesterday, he made a comment about how he has options and other women are interested in him, including a beautiful 26-year-old. It was off-putting that he even said this at all, but why did he add her age in? I asked him why he felt the need to tell me he had options, as I would never say that to a guy that I'm talking to, and he said he was merely trying to point out that he's picky and doesn't settle for just any woman. He said he is not interested in her, but is very interested in me. I should add that I have always preferred dating younger men. I look a lot younger than I am, and I've never had any issues attracting men, but lately I've started to feel like my age is starting to work against me, and that maybe men just aren't taking me as seriously as when I was in my 30s. I can't tell if I'm just overly sensitive to this or if this guy is a jerk. This guy sounds like the worst. Yeah, this sounds like negging to me, which, like, he's 35. He's 35. And he's negging grown adult women on Hinge. Yeah, he seems emotionally stunted. Maybe not who we want to go out with. To start talking to someone on a dating app and feel the need to hold over their head that they have options, including other younger women, is that really the type of person you want to build a relationship with? Someone that within mere hours of meeting you virtually, not even in person, they feel the need to strike up some sort of power difference between the two of you to make themselves feel bigger and make you feel just a little bit smaller. It's just not cute, and it's not emotionally mature, and it is alarming that a 35-year-old is acting like this. So I would personally hit that block button and save yourself the time. Protect your peace a little bit, because this man sounds like an 18-year-old. In the worst way. I mean that offensively. My boyfriend wants to sleep in the other room every once in a while. My current boyfriend and I live together. The last few days he's been sleeping in the other room. Normally he would alternate between my room and the guest bedroom. He says he doesn't get enough sleep when he's in our room. I understand we have a lot of animals and sometimes they wake us up in the middle of the night, but am I wrong for being upset? You might not want to hear this, bestie, but here's what I'll say. I think that you're allowed to have an emotional reaction to anything, no matter what the emotional reaction is. You're allowed to feel however it is that you feel. It's how you act upon those feelings that I think makes the difference here. You are allowed to want your partner to sleep in the same room as you and to prefer it when they do. But if your partner is the type of person that prefers to spend some time sleeping on their own because they just get a better night's sleep when they have that separation, then you need to let them do that. And it's not personal and it's not about you. It's just simply about them. And this is coming from someone who tends to sleep better alone. I love cuddling and having that close, intimate touch with a partner. I love it when people sleep over. I wouldn't love it if they slept over every night. I don't sleep as well when I have someone in the same room with me, in the same bed as me. I really do value my time alone, my time in bed alone. And if I was dating someone and I told them that, yeah, I do love sleeping with you, but it's not going to be an every night thing and I'm going to want to have nights to sleep on my own, it truly would have nothing to do with them and everything to do with me. I just sleep better by myself. I am so aware of other people that, like, sleeping becomes actually difficult when someone else is in my bed. I'll try to explain it to you if you feel this way. When I'm in the bed with someone else, even if it's someone that I am so close with, that we know everything about each other. There's no rules, there's no boundaries, there's no nothing. I don't know if maybe this is like just a side effect of having struggled with my body image as a child, and now I sometimes feel like I have to shrink myself all the time. I don't know. We're not digging into my brain today, but like if someone else is in the bed with me, my instinct is to like scrunch up and go all the way to my side of the bed, and I feel like I wake up with like back pain and my whole body is sore because I'm just tensed up, shoving myself to the corner. I feel like so self-conscious of how much blanket I'm taking up or how much of the bed I'm taking up. I also don't really like to be touched when I'm sleeping because I get really hot at night and I overheat, and it's fucking middle of winter and I'm still sleeping with an AC and a fan on that's hitting my face directly, or else I can't sleep. Like, listen, some people just need to be alone at night. Between me being fucking hot all the time and me never wanting to inconvenience another person ever in this lifetime, it's just better to have nights alone, because then I can really truly relax and get a good night's sleep. And it has nothing to do with my partner and everything to do with me, okay? So I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong for being upset, because I think however you're feeling is valid. Whatever this brings up for you is valid, but consider it's not your partner's job to fix that uncomfortable feeling, and it's something for you to work out within yourself. Why is it that not sleeping with your partner every single night upsets you? Because it is reasonable for them to want to sleep alone, and they should be able to do that. First date, got stood up and received the most ridiculous excuse. Should I believe it? We had reservations, and throughout the week she'd message me how excited she was for the date. I show up at the reserved time. 15 minutes after, she says that she's in an Uber and is running late, that she would be here in 7 minutes. Great, I can wait. Fast forward 30 minutes, I get nothing, so I text her that I'm concerned for her because she's not there. I'm thinking something happened and I don't know how to help since I have no idea how to find out where she is. It's our first date and she's in an Uber. I call her and get voicemail. An hour and a half later, she sends a huge text about how her Uber got pulled over and her Uber got arrested, and that she will call me when she gets in a new Uber. At that point, I just tell her not to show up because the staff saw I got stood up and bought me drinks all night. Where do I go from here? She's left me a voicemail saying she feels awful about the circumstances and that if we meet, she'll buy me dinner. I mean, that is a wild excuse. I've got questions. I've got a lot of questions. So my first question, and I guess the reason why I have this question is because I live in New York and I understand how walkable New York is. But if I was in an Uber and I was 7 minutes away from somewhere, I would just get out and walk the rest of the way if something happened. Like, it's not that far, but I guess some cities aren't walkable. I don't know where this person is living or where they're writing in from, but that's like pretty close. You got like pretty damn close to where you needed to go. Question number 2 is like, let's say you are in an Uber and it gets pulled over. And this actually has happened to me. I was in a taxi one time in college going to a birthday dinner and the car got pulled over. Probably set me back like 10, 15 minutes, but for sure not an hour and a half. I'm like, I don't think it takes that long to be pulled over. I mean, I guess her driver got arrested. But still, an hour and a half, that seems incredibly long for this interaction, no? Unless it was something crazy. But like, could it be? Also, you're just like an Uber passenger. What would you know? You were just like there. It's not like you know anything about whatever they're getting arrested for. Either way, don't you think you'd be able to text quickly in the moment as it's happening? Like if you know you have to stay and you're going to be talked to by police, you think you'd just be able to send a quick text being like, you'll never fucking believe this, but my Uber just got pulled over and he's getting arrested and now the cops want to talk to me. So I'm running super late. Do you want to reschedule, or I'll show up as soon as I can? I don't know. You just think that you'd say something. It's the hour and a half of nothing that's bizarre, because even if the story is true, it just feels like there was a better way to communicate that that's what was going on, which just leads me to believe that this is bullshit. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but if I was going on a first date and this happened, genuinely, honest to God, in an Uber, got pulled over, can't leave because the cops want to talk to me, ends up taking an hour and a half. The second that we got pulled over, the second that the lights are flashing behind the car, I'm opening my phone being like, Jesus Christ. I'm in my head like panicking, being like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm so rude. I'm making a horrible first impression. Fuck, I'm going to ruin my chances with this person before I even get on the date. Like, I'm going to be in my head being like, God, this makes me look like such an asshole. So I'd be doing everything in my power to prove that this story was real and to try to be considerate of the other person's time. Like, I would just never wait an hour and a half before texting someone and being like, oh, sorry, my Uber got pulled over. So I don't know. Either she's lying and this is a made-up story, or she's telling the truth, and at the very least, she's pretty inconsiderate of your time and maybe not the best communicator. Because it's not like she says that they got in like an insane accident and that's why she couldn't text for an hour and a half. It was just her Uber driver got pulled over and arrested. Hour and a half? And you're not able to text at all during that hour and a half? Like, something's just not right here. So I don't know. If this happened to me, I would probably be like, this is a sign from the universe that I'm not supposed to date this person. The universe did everything in its power to make sure this person didn't show up on this date and didn't contact me for an hour and a half so that I would know they had some big personality flaw as well. Tinder and what are you looking for? I recently started dating and swiping on Tinder. After saying what I'm looking for, I started changing it and stating more, it depends what I find and not that I want to have kids and get married. However, after saying that I'm unsure, these men tend to say the same thing back. Sort of hilarious. How do you play the game in the beginning? Been following the seduction, want to see if it will play out differently. Here's the thing. I think that on dating apps, it's best to be completely upfront about what it is you're looking for and what you want. I think that when you're meeting people out and about and organically, you don't have to open conversations like that with what it is you're looking for. But I think on a dating app specifically, it's like you have no other reason to know these people other than the fact that you are on a dating app looking to date. So you should probably be on the same page if that's like the only reason why you know each other. Here's the thing. Getting more matches on a dating app does not equate to getting quality matches. I would rather get less matches, but the matches that I do get are people that are actually in alignment with what I'm looking for at this point in time, versus getting a lot of matches and half of my matches are guys that are like, I don't know, just trying to vibe and see where things go. Like, I would just rather have less matches, but the matches that I am getting, there's actually a shot at us maybe connecting, versus matching with people that are unsure about what they want when you do know what you want. You're just wasting your own time, especially on a dating app. Like, let's be fucking real and honest. Meeting someone on a dating app is not the same as meeting them in person, face to face. There's a lot of people on dating apps that are emotionally fucking stunted and are not going to be able to get anywhere with you. So believe them when they tell you that. You know? If they're saying outright that they don't know what they're looking for and you know that you want to be in a relationship working towards having children, save yourself the fucking time. Been on 3 dates and still have anxiety. I, 22 male, have been on 3 dates with 22 female. Each date has gotten progressively better. Date 1, we got drinks and were together for 3 hours and made out at the end. Date 2, we went to a bookstore and then came back to my place where we made out and connected more. Date 3, we made dinner together at my apartment and slept together, and she stayed with me until 4 p.m. the next day. We also established exclusivity. I'm starting to get real feelings for her, and she is someone I have known for a long time. Is it reasonable for me to be anxious about her no longer being interested in me? We have another date planned tomorrow. I just really need help dealing with the anxiousness of putting myself out there and giving someone the ability to hurt me. Aw. This is really sweet. I read this and was like, I hope this date goes so well tomorrow. Manifesting good things for you, whoever you are. This is like so sweet to me. And so this is why I love these little fucking dating forums, because this is like some of the most vulnerable shit ever. And it's just strangers reaching out to strangers on the internet. There's something endearing to me about that, even though I think a lot of time that's like sort of a gamble, because you might have like wild people responding to you and telling you bad things. But like, this is sweet. I love this. It sounds like things are going great so far. And I totally understand having anxiety and fear of things not working out, especially because this is someone you've known for a while. It sounds like you were friends beforehand. And it is scary opening up to someone new and getting vulnerable with them, but it's so worth it. And I don't think you need to wish away that fear or that anxiousness. I think it's something that will subside as the relationship progresses and as you start to feel safer with this person, as things become more intimate. As you build that trust and that safety, this anxiousness will sort of start to melt away. But in the meantime, just try to enjoy yourself a little bit. This is so exciting and so happy. I do understand though. I feel like I definitely have a tendency to wait for the other shoe to drop when something's going well for me in life in general. You know, thinking to yourself, is this too good to be true? Waiting for the truth to come out, just waiting on the edge of your seat to learn that what you feel so happy about right now is actually nothing to be happy about at all. I get it. It's hard not to do that, especially depending on what your dating history is like. But you know, I've said it before, for as many what if it doesn't work out type of situations we could think up in our heads, we could also think up a million, well, what if it does work out situations? What if it is just as great as it seems to be right now? What if the universe is rewarding you and you just get to be happy and enjoy getting to know someone and learning to trust someone and open up to someone that really deeply cares for you? How fucking awesome is that? So yes, it's scary, but yes, it's worth it. Enjoy yourself. This is a happy time, and just try to release a little bit, because that fear and that anxiousness is going to melt away on its own as things progress. You just gotta let yourself be happy a little bit. Would I look desperate and crazy? At the beginning of this year, I, 30 female, sent a man a rose on Hinge with a response to one of his prompts, making it entirely too easy for him to keep the conversation going. He matched with me but never said anything. I let it sit a couple days before taking that shit personally and unmatched him. Yesterday I saw him at Home Depot. It wasn't until I got home that I realized why he looked so familiar. Would I be foolish, masochistic, absolutely desperado to DM him on IG? For context, it was connected to his Hinge profile and he had several posts with his entire name. I'm not a total stalker. Maybe a better question is whether he seems worth pursuing. The worst case scenario in my mind is not that he ignores my DM, it's that he does respond and will always think of me as someone who is happy with crumbs. Well, why do we care about this specific man is my question. This is like some random dude. Why do we give a fuck about him so much? I mean, for one, I don't think that it's ever a personal thing when people don't message you immediately on Hinge. I think usually people's dating app behavior is not worth reading into. When I'm on dating apps, I definitely don't respond to every message that I get, even when I do match with the person. Because the truth is, like, if I'm actively talking to somebody or if I'm actively going on dates with someone and I'm liking where things are going, I'm really not as keen on responding to messages, because I would rather focus on that one person. So if any of the people that messaged me that didn't get a response took that personally, I would be like, please do not do that, because it's not personal. The thought of you truly didn't even cross my mind even once. It's very unimportant to me, that app. But number two, like, why do we give a fuck about this random man? You matched, you messaged, he didn't respond to you. You didn't like that, you unmatched, totally fair. Why, now that you've seen him out and about, do you feel like now's the time to message him? I don't think you'll look desperate and crazy, because to be honest, I don't think that he's thinking of you at all. He probably doesn't even remember who you are, if you want my honest thoughts. But I also don't see why this would be worth pursuing. This is a random stranger that you don't know. You've already tried talking to them once before and they didn't respond to you. So I don't know what the appeal is to chasing this random stranger, other than, you know, maybe you have projected some false ideas of who they are onto them and you're interested in whatever version of them you made up inside your head. But I don't know that it's worth it. I think that you should just go find someone who's interested in you. Personally. Well, Godspeed to anybody that goes to r/dating advice for their dating advice. I hope it works out for you. I hope you get good advice. I hope no one is mean to you on there, because you are vulnerable and brave for posting to a bunch of strangers and just letting it rip. If you like this video and want to see more like this, be sure to subscribe both to this channel and to my podcast, Emotionally Online, which, if you like this, you'll definitely like my podcast. I take a lot of audience submissions on my show, a lot of which do happen to be about people's dating endeavors. So if you'd like to submit your own dating endeavors, you can do that over on my podcast, Emotionally Online. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Maddie Dragsbaek if you want to see more of my life that's not on YouTube. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.